All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we are going to talk about Terence Crawford spazzing out on boxing fans and once again showing the reason why a lot of people like him and some people, and not so much, as he flips out on cats on Twitter. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we are going to be in the 147-pound division where Terence Crawford does a Terence Crawford on Twitter and lets everybody know what he would do if he catches up with them. But again, man, it just begs the question, man. Why? Why? But before we get into that, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. Also, if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter, thank you so much for your support. It really means a lot. And thank you to everybody that supports in the super thanks in videos like this with the little heart in the lower right-hand corner. It is how we're able to continue to keep these lights on and keep it pushing. But let's get into this, man. Terence Bud Crawford is the 147-pound WBO champion, used to be the undisputed champion at 140 pounds and the WBO champion at 130 pounds. Recently had a fight fall through for Errol Spence against Errol Spence Jr. Because he didn't take the fight. Everybody wants to be why? At the end of the day, the man didn't take the fight. He went to fight somebody else, just like he said he was going to do when he said he was going to never fight Errol Spence. However, Terence Crawford, it appears, is not liking the backlash that he's getting for the decision that he made. And he comes out on Twitter and says the following: "I'm no track star, but I can't wait till I catch one of y'all." And then after that, he says, everyone's tough on social media. Now, I have a suspicion about why he may have had this particular attitude, because he got a lot of backlash on the last set of tweets that he put out where he says something about which one is worse. And he makes a typo on which, because I'm sure the man knows the difference between the Wicked Witch of the West and which way is up, right? I don't have any problem with that. But he also said, asked, which is worse, getting to the big game, or not losing and not getting to the big game, or getting to the big game and losing. And so, of course, people ain't really too interested in Terence Crawford's, philosophizing on whether or not he would want to be the Dallas Cowboys or not. They take it and they immediately turn to boxing and say, look, man, and the most notable one is Lou DiBella, who says what's worse is getting to the biggest fight of your career and not getting it done, and then not taking the fight, right? Very obvious, right? Very, very obvious, because it was neither one of those two scenarios, right? Terence Crawford did not lose and not get to the fight. He won, but then he didn't get on, then he would not take the fight. So if he was going to parallel that, his situation to football, it really would be that he gets all the way to the championship game and then he decides to forfeit and says, no, it's okay. We don't want to play. I'm the NFC champion. And that's good enough for me. I don't need to be the Super Bowl champion. And they leave everybody out there and they got to cancel the Super Bowl. That's pretty much what he did. But so I can understand why he's been getting a lot of heat, and he's steadily been getting a lot of heat since he decided not to fight Errol Spence Jr., and he will probably continue to get a lot of heat until something changes, like he fights Jaron Ennis, or if under some miracle he fights Errol Spence Jr., which I doubt very much he is, because he's a very, very stubborn individual apparently. However, when we address this particular conversation, it just makes me think, like I said in the beginning of the video, why? Why are you're not a track star. First of all, why are you saying you're not a track star? Because you know there's a whole bunch of people going to run on that joke and say, hey, man, if you ain't a track star, you sure acting like one the way you sprinted from that Errol Spence Jr. fight over to David having nothing for you. You know what I mean? Like, you sure quickly sprinted away from that guy over to that guy. Looks like you may have some wheels on you, but obvious jokes like that are obviously going to come. But here's the other thing, man. Why are you threatening people, man? Like, at a certain point in time, man, it's like, really? Is this really worth saying, man? I can't wait to catch y'all? Because what you going to do? Yell at them? You're going to beat them up? What are you going to do? Like, how is that going to solve your problem? Running up to somebody and starting to fight with them or talking bad about them or doing something like that. I mean, at a certain point in time and at a certain age you get to, you realize that, man, that what good is that going to do? It's always going to be somebody else. If you beat that, if you do something to that dude, the next dude's going to come right behind you. And all they're going to do is get on you for picking on somebody that you have no business fighting at all. You should walk away from, right? Like, for example, the whole deal with Trey Songz, right? Like, why bother? Right? Like, why bother? Unless he's literally trying to put his hands on you or whatever, and I can understand that. But, you know, you're not going to get any brownie points being a world-class boxer, somebody that, you know, that everybody knows can handle themselves, in some fisticuffs. Everybody knows that that's going to be very, very difficult to beat Terence Crawford in a bout, in a hand-to-hand combat on the street. Everybody knows that. But what does that prove? Because everybody knows the same thing about Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury. I can go through every weight class, right? Beterbiev, Callum Smith, you know that about Rocky Fielding. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what level of a professional boxer that is a championship level boxer you're talking about, that same thing is going to apply, right? So it's like, it's not going to keep people from talking. If you do catch up to them, it's not going to do anything but make you look like a bully. So what difference, you know what I mean? It's like, why bother? I mean, I remember when Adrian Bronner ran across the room and clocked somebody. And man, wow, you could hear the pop on that punch when it landed, and he wasn't even on camera, right? How at the same time, man, that should be reserved for if somebody literally tries to put your hand on you. What good does it do? I mean, what does it prove? What does that prove? You know what I mean? That's like a grandmaster, somebody who was a grandmaster in chess, going and beating, some eighth grade chess players. Like, the people that are on his level aren't going to be looking at him like, okay, yeah, oh yeah, that's really impressive. I'm real scared of him now that this grandmaster, this grand champion chess master beat a junior high school student that just learned the game. Not going to be impressed. If anything else is going to be like, man, why are you wasting your time? Right? The question is, are you going to run down Errol Spence? Are you going to run down Jaron Ennis? Are you going to run down Jermell Charlo? Right? Are you going to run down on those guys when you see those guys? Right? Which honestly does remind me of one of the things where people talk about that time that Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. went head to head, when they were both arguing with each other I think that was after the Maurice Hooker fight, and how Terence Crawford really did try to punk Errol Spence Jr. And in my viewpoint, it didn't work. He just kind of looked there, first of all, ignored him and was talking to his friend for a while, and then went back to Terence, Terence did like that to him. Errol didn't move. It's like that's the level of fighter that you need to say, okay, yeah, I'm going to go. I can't wait till I catch you. But when there was the guy that everybody really wanted to know if you were going to beat, you did run away from the fight. For whatever reason, you ran away from the fight. You didn't want it. Nah, I don't need it. It's just not the best look, man. It's just not the best look. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.